Okay, what's going on, MMA fans? Got another topic that I decided that I would go ahead and dedicate to a video because it's in depth. It's similar to my Anderson Silva topic, and I have been asked by a lot of people a similar question, and I felt that it was time to go ahead and address it because it's been asked probably by 12 or 13 people on my channel, through email, through comments, so on and so forth. The question posed to me, and of course, as I always say, you already know because of the topic right up top: Kimbo Slice, his future in MMA. The questions that have been asked have been similar. Can Kimbo become a top-tier heavyweight? Is Kimbo a top-tier heavyweight? What does he have to do to become a top-tier heavyweight? So, I will answer all three questions, and they'll probably run into each other, but I'll try to do my best to keep them separate. So, the first question was, will Kimbo ever become a top-tier heavyweight? Well, actually, let's start with the other first. Is Kimbo a top-tier heavyweight first? No, he's not. Kimbo is still a baby to this sport. Kimbo is still a newcomer to this sport. Kimbo has not fought top competition. Kimbo has shown deficiencies in his fight game. And it starts with the James Thompson fight. His ground game needs more work. His jiu-jitsu needs more work. His cardio needs serious work. Those are things that Kimbo's got to work on. Kimbo's got to work on his wrestling. Kimbo's got to work on the clinch. Kimbo's got to work on a lot of stuff. So at this point of his career, he's fought James Thompson, Tank Abbott, Bo Cantrell. No, he's not a top-tier heavyweight. Not by any stretch or any means. Now, the second question is, will Kimbo ever become a top-tier heavyweight? He could. He very well could. But with the could is an if, and when. Kimbo's got to dedicate himself. Some of the things that were brought up by some of the people that emailed me, and one that is the most important, is he smokes. He's got to let that go. He's got to let go the lifestyle that he was involved in and involve himself in the sport. If he does that, then yes, he could become a top-tier heavyweight. He's got great striking skills. I don't think that can be disputed. I think he's got some pretty decent striking skills. Is he a little wild and crazy? Yeah. Is that something that needs to be corrected? Yeah. I think he could be a technical fighter, and it would make his game just that much more better. But yes, Kimbo could be a top-tier heavyweight. Will he ever be? The question is if. It's an if. And it's a when. That's what it is right now. Because we don't know where Kimbo's going to be in a year. Where Kimbo's going to be in 2 years. We'll see what happens. What does Kimbo have to do to become a top-tier heavyweight? And I've kind of run over some of the things. He's got to work on his ground game. He's got to work on his conditioning. He's got to work on his wrestling. He's got to work on his takedown defense. We saw how deficient it was in the James Thompson fight, and James Thompson, of all people, and this is no disrespect to James Thompson, but if you compare him to other heavyweights, he is not a takedown artist like some of the other premier heavyweights in the world. And he was able to take Kimbo down and pass his guard and throw elbows the way he did. So Kimbo's got to work on a lot of stuff. If he puts effort into it and trains consistently and goes at the same rate consistently, 2 to 3 years we could see Kimbo being a legitimate guy. But he's got a lot of work to do. Right now, if you put Kimbo against any top-tier heavyweight, a Josh Barnett, an Andrei Arlovsky, a Tim Sylvia, a Heath Herring, an Antoni Hardonk, an Antoni Hardonk, these guys would give Kimbo trouble, serious trouble. Nogueira. So no, Kimbo is not a top-tier heavyweight. Will he ever be a top-tier heavyweight? Only time will tell. What does he have to do to be a top-tier heavyweight? Listed the things that he would need to do. And I will say this real quick because I've been quick to judge Kimbo. I think a lot of us have in the MMA community. I think the Elite XC has used him as a marketing tool. They've used him to pull in the casual fans that don't know a lot about MMA. And unfortunately, because of his background, the sport is now being looked at as human cockfighting. That aside, I still respect Kimbo as a fighter. I still respect the fact that he gets into the cage and he puts his body on the line. I have to do it. And I think that if you're a true fan of this sport, you have to respect the guy. You may not like that he's viewed in a way that we don't agree with, but I still have to give him the respect that he steps into the cage and puts his body on the line, just like any other mixed martial artist. So on that note, leave some comments, constructive, negative, positive. Vid responses. I got a lot of those on my Anderson Silva video. And on that note, you guys have a great day.